Thank you for introduction. I hope you hear me. Welcome to the presentation Developers to QEs of Themselves. It will be mainly targeted for upstream developers who don't have any QEs and would like to deliver stable releases with minimal effort. We will explain how the continuous integration looks like for DNF package manager. During the presentation, do not hesitate to ask about anything. If you have any questions, please just raise your hand. Or if you are shy, you can ask something afterwards to DNF team. There's Mracek and Šilhan. This talk will be split into two parts. The first part will be covered by me and is about how the whole process of the testing workflow looks like and which technologies we have used and why. The last part will be about integration testing, which is the sub-part of the whole process. At first, I would like to ask you or do some research. Please raise your hand, everybody who is developing some upstream project. Perfect, it's about half of the people, so I'm right at a developer conference. And the next question, who of you who are developers have continuous integration tool integrated to your project? That's about 1/3 of the developers, so that's enough. So those of you who already have some continuous integration tool, you can learn about new concepts and tools which we use. And those of you who don't have continuous integration already, you can adapt our tool. Okay, and the last question, who ever released the broken application to the customers? Yeah. It's about the same amount that has continuous integration tool, but I don't think that's a coincidence. We already did that, and it's kind of sad that it happens to package manager that should update your system. How can you upgrade a package manager to the new release if you can't upgrade at all? So that's the motivation to prevent broken releases. When you have more contributors to your project, you spend more time to testing these pull requests. But you can rather spend that time on developing cool features of your application itself. So invest on automated tasks. At this slide, we can see the whole process. Everything begins when some contributor do pull request at GitHub, or anybody pushes a new commit to the upstream. There, the package build is triggered. Why we are building RPM package inside our continuous integration is, the reason is that then we are sure that we can do another release immediately and that the package build passed. As a side product of this build, we get the unit test checked. And once we have the RPM packages, we can put it into our integration test system. This is examined by black box testing the whole application. The last of the test is static code checker that checks for some redundancies or some violations of the code, so you can persist the maintainable code. If this process happened by pushing some new patch to the upstream, we also store that RPM packages and serve them to the users as nightly builds. In this slide, there's described the whole technologies we used. The core component is Jenkins. That actually is continuous integration tool that automates the tasks. We have our projects from DNF ecosystem on GitHub, and 5 of them are integrated into continuous integration tool. So everything is new pull request triggered. It runs the Jenkins job and recursively rebuilds the other packages. With regard to package build, we are using Tito definition. That's the tool that automates the releases. With that, you can, by one single same command line, build the RPM packages of any of these projects. You have to just have one folder inside each of the project. I forgot to mention that we use a Jenkins GitHub pull request builder plugin. You need to have this to have your pull request checked. Jenkins has many of these plugins. And unlike, for example, Travis CI, Jenkins is not a service. You need to host it somewhere on some server, and we use OpenStack for that. Okay, let's move to the lower part, which is dedicated to the testing. We run Python unit tests with some mocking, but we realized we need also some integration tests. And for that, we are using Docker technology to have isolable, reproducible environment. For static code analysis, we are using PEP8 and PyFlakes, which can find any violations against PEP8 standard in Python, and PyFlakes can find some redundancies of the code or some coding that leads to error-prone code base. So that's for the technologies we have used. I would like you to take 2 ideas from this presentation. Do not neglect testing and invest your time in manual tasks that you do repeatedly, and invest time to automate these tasks. It will pay off in the future. You can reuse our whole DNF testing framework for your own project. There will be a link at the end of the slides. Now, I would like to invite Jaroslav Mracek, who is the creator of DNF integration test. Chceš toto? Je lepší.
Okay, hi everyone. Thank you, Honza, for introducing me. And I have a great pleasure to present here something about functional testing. Well, in general, just if you think about the testing of your project, I think you start to think about, to test each commit separately. After, when you merge it, try to test each nightly build, or to make a test before you make a release. But just think about, is this really all what you want to do? Probably you can just have a dream that you can ask contributors, to pass all the tests before they make a pull request. That will be really dream, what we can dream all about. But if you want to wish to have a dream that will become true, somehow you have to pay for it. You have to offer them. You have to offer them something what they will say, okay, I mean, not offer like that they cannot refuse, but offer that they will accept because they want. Yeah, therefore, you have to start to think what they will like. You like that they will make a locally test. Okay, they probably like that they will have local builds. Well, automatic local builds. But at the third time, you think, okay, probably they will like to have a testing environment that will not interfere with their own system? Well, I will try to cover in my talk both sides. The first, I will just repeat what's going in our workflow by a little bit different way. Okay, when the pull request appear on our server where run Jenkins, it triggered the job, it downloads packages. After it makes a source RPM build, it's sent to the COPR. COPR run all the tests, and after that you have RPMs. And after when the RPMs are ready on the COPR server, okay, our functional tests start, and then it reports back to the Jenkins, and the Jenkins to the GitHub. Yeah, that's the whole magic. Well, our functional tests are based on the three, let's say, technologies. Yeah, Docker we use as a testing environment. I think you heard quite a lot during this conference about the Docker. We try to describe our test in behave, and also we use the Apache HTTP server to emulate the web repository inside the Docker image. You know, we try to do as much as possible to just emulate the normal environment in our testing procedure. Well, our DDT test, I found that, well, it's become pretty famous. Yeah, in the newspaper I found that, okay, they found the DDT already at the Antarctic coast. Yeah, that's amazing, I think. If we start to think about the Docker, yeah, mostly you heard the motto, which is build, ship, and run any application anywhere. That means that, okay, you build some working application, you distribute it, and that's all the job. Our approach with the Docker is a little bit different. We try to build Docker image every time when the task is triggered. I don't know what's happened. Sorry. Well, that's a little bit different approach how to handle the Docker. Most of you or some of you already heard about the behave. Again, we choose to describe the testing environment. Yeah, because the behave use something like they say that it use test written in the natural language style backed by Python code. It has an advantage that not only developers will understand the test procedure. Like, yeah, when we read that this is the part of our test, yeah, where is written, when I execute bash command dnf -y install test A with the success, then the package test A, test B should be installed, and the package test C should be absent. I think it's quite understandable. Yeah, it doesn't make much. Yeah, it recognizes what to do, which variable has to be used, and that's just it's executed, and you will then see the result. If we come to our functional test, what it does, yeah, the DNF, you know, it's from the command line. It's used by the user from command line interface. Therefore, our test procedure is also used the same way. Therefore, it shoots the command to the command line, and we try to analyze what happened then. The test is run, we can say, in the three parts. The first part is the preparation. That mostly means the build of the Docker image. That means the installed or required component, upgrade components, and of course, install the tested version of the component which we run the test. And all of these tests has to be ensured it's done properly. For the building, for the build, Docker used something which is called dockerfile. Just it starts that, okay, it tells you from which image to start, what to run. You can copy it inside the directory or to add some file, and you can describe what to do when you enter the container. This is not only way how to build the image. Yeah, you can also commit the container as an image, and later on use it like this. Yeah. Sometimes it's necessary because not all steps can be done during the Docker image build. Yeah. For example, our unit tests requires TTY, and during the Docker build, you cannot use it, but you can use it during the Docker run. Therefore, you make a Docker run of your unfinished build of the image, and after when it's correctly finished, you just commit as a new image. In the second part, is take place the run of our tests. Therefore, the all test description are inside the container, and we just say, okay, run this test with the Python 2 or Python 3 DNF version. Yeah. Well, after when the all test pass, we come to the third part, where okay, you want to have a all summary of the all test, what was okay, what was wrong, and of course this is quite important part. Yeah, you have to clean all images, all containers, because you can be quite surprised how easily your disk or system disk will be depleted by the running of such a tests. Now we come to the second part. How to use our tool as for the local build. Okay, you want to run it locally. Therefore, okay, well, don't use a COPR. Therefore, we just make a directly build of RPM. We did it into container. Therefore, inside this container is installed all requirements. Yeah, and when this is finished, we can start with the functional tests. This procedure has some advantages. For example, what will be on the server side a little bit more difficult for the Jenkins, yeah, it could be done easily and locally. Like you have two components, like in our case, we have a plugin score and DNF, and you make changes in both projects, and they are tied together. Therefore, you want to make a test of both projects in one container, and this can be done locally. Therefore, you first build inside the first project, install, and the second project which requires the first one. Therefore, you have after that the test which can really could work with the several projects at one time. And there is another option that you can keep the image at the end. Therefore, you can easily enter this Docker image or run the container as a testing environment. You can see how if your changes really does what you want to do and doesn't make any mess. Yeah, and that's what we can offer our contributors. Yeah, the testing environment inside the Docker. If some mess happen, yeah, it doesn't interact with your host machine. Yeah, it's inside the Docker. If you do anything wrong, you just delete the container, and that's all. Yeah, you have you can forget about the cleaning and maintaining the container. Yeah, you just delete it. Yeah, that's all. At this place, yeah, you can find our project which we use for the continuous integration test. And well, we came to the end of my talk, and I just want to ask you, yeah, please think about our philosophy of the testing. Yeah, please think about functional tests. Please use our work, use our code, because we live in open source world. Thank you very much. Okay, if there is some question on the come. Yes.
So if I want to run this test suite, what are the requirements that I have to, what do I need to have on my system? Is it just Docker or something else?
Yes.
Just
Yeah. Yeah. That's plan. No. No. Title is installed inside the Docker. It used to be like this. Yes.
And if I understood correctly, you're running a functional test before the merge.
Yes.
So it means that these tests are fast enough, so feedback loop is reasonably short?
Well, on the server side, there is the one part, you send it to the COPR. Yeah, that's, yes, what? Well, it could take 5 minutes, it could take hours. That's depend how it's, together it take 15 minutes. Oh, no.
So you mean for different, but why so much deviation from 5 to?
This is server somewhere else, and
Different projects, or?
no. The COPR is the accept. This is the service which you call outside, and they have different, let's say. Sometimes the build is shorter, sometimes it's the longer.
Not controlling this?
No, you don't control it. But if we start to think about the local build, you can switch if you don't like the COPR to the build always inside your Docker image. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually the component I forget to mention or explain. Inside into COPR, you put just source package, and it would build the binary packages for some federal distributions and architectures.
All right, and then it will run some kind of unit test?
Yes.
Yeah, like inside the spec file, there's the script that it should run the unit test.
Actually, in good data, we face these real problems with feedback loops, and we currently rolling out. We basing our work on OpenStack Zoo project. It's part of OpenStack Infra, so I can highly recommend look into that. The overall thing is that you can divide your test flow into so-called pipelines. So in a check pipeline, you can put a really fast test with a fast feedback loop, and in a gate pipeline, you can put actually these costly ones. And the reason for that, so developer creates PR, then reviewer, assuming the unit is passed, place a label merge in GitHub, for example. Then the loop picks it up, and the glue acts like a mediator between GitHub server and a Jenkins. And you will need no GitHub pull request builder anymore, since the runner talks with Kierman, you can orchestrate jobs. And the reason for that, so the code is still not merged in while costly tests are running, and then, assuming they agree, Zoo merges the stuff automatically and pushed to relevant branch. So it works really for this like huge projects as well, because you parallelize this testing of concurrent PRs and review faster feedback loop.
Yeah, thank you for suggestion.
Will you create a new test when after somebody reports new bug to cover that problem?
Sure, I think that's the normal procedure that, if you...
So our set of tests is still...
Yes, for example, now I prepared the test for install-root. At least the behavior in install-root was changed. Therefore, I try to, to discover or to check, or it's checked, yeah, but to describe the test, we do this next time automatically.
You said that you don't have any QE, so many of your work, how much time you spend on creating new tests, or you don't have many bugs?
Well, that it's called QE by themselves. Yeah.
It's full-time job.
Yeah, but I think you doesn't need to cover by the test all of the bugs and so on. Yeah, I think the main you doesn't need to test all possibilities, combination of the commands, options, and so on. Yeah, it will be fine, but it's not necessary. It's good if you cover the most user cases, the first option. The second one, the combination of the options, like that they are in general handled correctly. Yeah, I think there is nearly no test that will really test all of the feature. Yeah, but of course, I think the future will be that you could create by the pull request also the test procedures that will describe, no, not describe, that will prove that your commit do what you really want to do.
So you require from committers to also create new tests for.
I think that would be nice, but we will see how this will work. No. Especially from you. No, sorry, I'm joking. You're welcome.
Are there any other questions?
Okay, let's distribute. Okay, thank you very much. Who asked? The Bosch? Who asked else?
Ta první otázka byla moje, když tak, Honzo, jo? Pár věcí mi tam teda nebylo jasný.
To úplně náhodou. Nějaké si to hlásila jako internetový přístup,
Ale potom myslím prezentaci, to někdy opakujeme do těch prvků.
a tam na SBC,
No, jasně.
Já jsem ti do toho nechcel, ale já jsem rozpočul, že Bartovi nemá na seba urobený testy, ale na chvíľku schovaný, až by sa znova objavil.
No, ono to je tohle jako defaultní politika commitu, to nevím, jestli ještě pořád je, ale od začátku byla, že každý commit musí mít test coverage.
To je, ale myslím to, že keď sa objaví bug, že aby sme není nič viac, čo ľudí nastaví, keď sa to už raz skúsne a objaví sa to znovu.
No jasně, no.
tak ne?
No jasně.
Čus.
Ale prosím tě. Taky nabítelný. Statistiky máme jen trash.
Nice to meet.
Ale asi by to chtělo to si počkej, jsou dva, a věc nemáme?
Ještě jsou tam 3, ale jako máme ještě x přednášek.
No, tak pojďme zabrat, podle mě to tak ještě. No?
Je to možné, no. Jo, to...
Však máme teraz čas.
Jo.
Ještě.
Hej.
Možná to. Náhodou si nekopírovali ještě tu vaši prezentaci na to USB.
To nevím, jako
Je právě,
to je Honzi počítač.
Chcete doníst?
Jo, šále.
Závěrně ve velkém máme.
Dobré, už je tam máme.
Že bych ještě donesl dětem.
Všechno pohodě.
Máme to.
Speakerom dávám samolepky.
Dostali jste samolepky? Dala vám? Ty?
Cože? Já jsem se nebral.
Jo,
Já vezmu zase 2 dětem. Jestli můžu? Nejmladší jako ještě nelepí, to je přes rok.
Máme ještě nějaké samolepky u vchodu u šaty.
Ne, a co tam je? Tetováčky jsou tam.
Co jsou tam?
Tetováčky.
Ty už mají, to už jsem vzal několik, už večer se fotili, jo?
Já si musím ještě vytetovat toto, že to má.
Na druhou stranu nejsou úplně snadno subdovatelné.
To nevadí, to může být navždy.
To je Honzův notebook? Tohle je Honzův notebook?
No, Honzo, co jsi robil včera?
Jsi šel do brněnského zoo, to jsem uchloval se slovem.
Hej, super.
A ten notez dělal asi...
Takže hodně zabavujeme.
Honza mi tuší.
Bart, huš, pojď.
Není tam započítá flashka Red Hat?
Tu je.
Jo, na tom je ta prezentace.
Ano.
Jako chtěli jsi to nakopírovat?
Ano, nakopil jsem.
Aha, jo.
Jasně, díky.
Honzo nám čali doněse, tak já pomohl.
Super. No a čo ty? Vlastně ty se přihlásila na jako session track, bez toho, aby si věděla. Ale to je super, jakože víš, že máš takýho ducha, že rada pomáhá, že si on taky.
To je zajímavé. Jaký jako úplně obohatě asi ty někoho ostatních, ale jakože je to zajímavá atmosféra. Včera to bylo hodně fany, jak jsem došla ráno, kde znala jsem si, že ty, který jsem jasný hala, jediná ženská. Aha.
By to mal být za minimal voice.
Hej, my jsme
nemal S a ja som tým pádom, že som robil do 2., 3., 4. ráno, tak som ostal v office a som využíval ten GitHub 3, 4, 5, 6, ktorý sa
To security sa stávajú komplikovanými veci, keď kolegovia hlasovali.
One, two, one, two.
Okay.